All right, rock and roll. Welcome to one and all to the Scorched Earth Political Podcast. I'm your host, John. Well, here we welcome friend and foe, sinner and saint, and just all you other rascals, whoever you are, right? Mayhem and mischief are our calling card. And if you could, hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. Feeling a little risque, leave a comment. And you know what? I really do enjoy the comments, even from the trolls. I do want to know what you want to talk about. What kind of things? Do you want more of a long form? Do you want more stories? Whatever you want. This is a podcast for us. This is something where we're building. We're not part of legacy media where I kind of feel like they talk to us. They're financially compromised by big business, by big corporations. I mean, look, 60 Minutes, which is the platinum standard in investigative journalism in this country, basically kowtowed down to Trump. They basically let their editor go. They brought in associate editors to fact check, basically because they want to make sure that their merger with Paramount goes through. They don't want the Trump administration and the SEC and the DOJ to stop it. All right, money talks, right? So, I mean, at some point, they're going to be compromised, or if they're not already. And I hate to say that about 60 Minutes. I would say, honestly, it's probably the program I've enjoyed the most in my life in terms of a news program, but you know, everything changes, right? So now we have Scorched Earth, we have podcast, and I think people really resonate with it because you feel like it's a more authentic, more genuine type of discussion about what's going on in the world of news and just politics, geopolitical. With that said, here we are. We're going to take an unabridged, honest look at what's going on in the world, and we're taking no prisoners, telling no lies, and away we go. Let's burn it all to the ground. All right, let's have we had a sighting, my friends. We had a sighting. Was it Bigfoot? Was it a UFO? Was it a Loch Ness Monster? Nope. It was Chuck Schumer growing a pair. I didn't even recognize him. You know? Jeez, man, he walks different now. Seems like Chuck isn't very happy about Trump getting that $400 million bribe from Qatar, the jet. And the jet that is being given to the Defense Department, which then is going to be given to the Trump Presidential Library after he leaves. We don't know how long it's going to take. Personally, I don't even think Trump's going to get it because they've got to basically strip it all the way down to see if there's surveillance, tracking devices, things like that. And then they got to build it all the way back up. Of course, they're not giving you numbers because it's the Defense Department under Trump that would be giving you those numbers. Nothing here. It all looks good. Yeah, sure, right? So Chuck is protesting it. And what he's going to do is he wants to put a hold on all of Trump's DOJ nominees. Okay, wow. Now we're doing it. When Chuck rolled over like a dog a couple months ago and had the continuing budget resolution so we could fund the government till September, you know, because he wanted to keep everything on an even keel and not have a lot of disruption in the government, it would hurt people. Hey, Chuck, how's those 121,000 federal workers who have been fired or laid off? How do you think they're feeling? What about the people who've been dealing with the roller coaster of the stock market and their 401ks and their kids' college funds are getting eviscerated? Yeah, no big deal, right? Up, down, sideways, yeah. You know, you had a chance to stand up for something a couple months ago and you didn't. Okay, all right, you're coming around. All right, whatever. Don't worry, in 2 years, I'm going to be over there. I'm going to be the first guy donating to AOC to take your goddamn Senate seat because you are nothing but a feckless, spineless human being. You just happen to have a D next to your name, and it makes me ashamed every time I see it. But hey, I'm not going to tell you how I really feel. All right. So Schumer, in his FOC outrage, said that he needs Pam Bondi to come in and testify in front of the Senate about how this is actually legal. Now, Pam Bondi, for all of you who know her, she's the Attorney General. She was the Attorney General of Florida. But when she was down in Florida, she also registered as a foreign agent of the state of Qatar. Let's see. She was a foreign agent for Qatar. Trump's getting a $400 million bribe from Qatar. I'm sure everything's going to work out just wonderful there. And I don't understand how the big media isn't talking about her being formerly a foreign agent of Qatar. I mean, does there anybody in this administration that has to recuse itself because they're compromised? Oh, John, compromised. Isn't that something that goes along with morals? Well said. Well said. Yeah. Okay. Maybe when we get her in there, we can also have her address Trump's crypto scam. You know, the crypto coin, the meme coin he started after he got elected, where 75% of all the money that went into the crypto coin went to administrative fees. You know, we got to pay for Donnie's cocaine, little Donnie Jr.'s cocaine, right? And Justin's son, who was under investigation by the SEC, happened to put $50 million into this crypto coin. And for some odd reason, after January 20th, the SEC and the FBI and the DOJ all dropped charges against Justin's son, who's a Chinese nationalist. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. Had nothing to do with it. I mean, I keep thinking back to the movie The Untouchables, where, you know, Elliot Ness is dealing with Al Capone. Why didn't Al Capone just give him an envelope full of cash? I mean, that's really what we're seeing. We're seeing it right in front of our face. They're not even hiding it. We had a vice president. We had a vice president in 1973. Okay, Spiro Agnew, who resigned because he got $10,000 improperly. God, these guys they're not even playing checkers. They're playing tic-tac-toe, and this guy is doing corrupt chess. He's not smart enough to know what all the pieces do, but he knows that's where the big boys are playing. All right? This guy isn't stealing millions. He's stealing billions. And if he could, he'd get trillions, right? So, finally, Chuck stands up. You know, I do remember the last 3 years of the Biden administration, that idiot senator from Alabama, Tommy Tuberville, who used to be the coach of Auburn, and obviously, I don't understand how this could happen. How does the coach get brain damage, CTE? I understand how the players do. How does the coach get it? But I regress. He held up every military promotion for 3 years. So basically what happened is, and this is exactly what we're dealing with here, everybody had to go in to the Senate, physically walk in and vote individually on each promotion. That's basically what Chuck Schumer is doing here. Right now, they can group all the nominees together, A, nay, blah, blah, blah. The Republicans have a 4-seat majority. It's actually 53 to 47, but J.D. Vance can break a tie, okay? So for all effective reasons, measures, they have a 4-seat majority. Well, they don't want to have to come in there. They want to be able to do it through Zoom, through proxy, or just do it in a group. Now they're hot as a Texas sidewalk in July, right? Because they don't want to have to get it. They got to be getting their money from the lobbyist on K Street. They got to be soliciting and shaking down Apple, Google, whoever they want to, grift themselves. But their grift isn't quite as good as Trump's. Trump's actually got that one figured out. I still don't understand how Tommy Tuberville can be part of the Republican Party after what he did to the military. But you know what? I digress. So we got that issue going on in, you know what? We got all kinds of stuff going on here. So let's see what the Republicans have to say about, hold on, just be patient, about Schumer's announcement about the ethics and the concerns it has about the Trump administration. There's quite a few, right? Even some Republicans have actually grown a spine on this thing. And it seems like Schumer is pressing for other details, including how much it will cost taxpayers to make the necessary security adjustments for the plane. You just don't bring the plane over here and it's ready for to be Air Force One. Throw a coat of paint on it. No, it doesn't work like that. You basically have to strip the entire plane down to the skeleton X-ray the skeleton, and then build it all the way back. This is going to cost hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars to do that. You might as well just get a plane out of Boeing, and Boeing's actually developing too, but they're not going quick enough for Trump, right? That's his big problem. Well, seems like we have a couple of Republicans who are actually thinking there might be some immorality or some bribery going on. Rusty Johnson, a representative from the Republican side, said that Trump should turn down this offer. But the South Dakota Republican said he doesn't like the optics and said that there are some pretty legitimate questions about being asked about national security and the ethics. No kidding. He goes, I don't like it. There's a reason that people can't even buy me a steak dinner. It's not necessarily that you can't prove that I got an ethical problem. It's just the appearance of it doesn't look great. And like we've talked about previously, federal employees cannot even get a free meal from a vendor or somebody like this. The president is getting a $400 million jet. And it's not like it's going to be in service of the United States after. It's going to his presidential library. I mean, my God. And I'm sure, it's coming with a brothel in it, whatever. Lisa Murkowski, the great senator from Alaska, one of the few, she actually took the Mitt Romney position of actually having a voice in the spine in the Republican Party, said she has a lot of questions. Thank you, Lisa. When you get something of that value from a country, one typically thinks there's something in it for the country that is offering it. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the Qataris are just so generous and so nice. Oh, yeah. By the way, they are the biggest funder of Hamas. I wonder how that's going to go down with the Israeli lobby. It's about time Lisa Murkowski actually just makes the break from Republican and starts caucusing with the Democrats. I mean, really? What do you have in common with these guys? Lisa, you actually have a soul. You said you were afraid. What do you think the rest of us are? Come on, show some spine, unlike Chuck Schumer. Senator Mike Rounds said that he has security concerns about Trump using a jet potentially gifted to the U.S. by Qatar, comparing it to a Trojan horse. Yeah, Trump wouldn't know what that is. He's used to Trojans, but it's a different kind, not the horse. All right, but as we're looking at this $400 million thing, funny thing happened on the way to the grift prom. It seems like the Trump organization, run by Eric and Don Jr., Wednesday announced a new deal to develop a luxury golf resort in Qatar, showing that the Trump administration or the Trump organization has no intention of slowing down their grift for access type of stuff. Wait for this. They are going to run a $5.5 billion beachside project. It is going to have a Trump International Golf Course and Trump Villas, and it's going to have a Land of Legends theme park. Yeah, it sure is. They are basically being given $5.5 billion. Forget the $400 million jet we're all talking about, we're all obsessing about. Okay, they don't get it. Nobody is talking about this story. They are getting controlling interest. They are controlling a $5.5 billion project. Because, hey, everybody wants to go hang at the beach side at Qatar. Yeah, I sure do. Maybe we could go see some of those empty soccer stadiums. I mean, how is nobody talking about any of this stuff? Okay, yeah, that's all it is. All right, we're going to go to the final story today. And this really bumps me out. I don't know if you remember, we had that story a couple weeks ago about you know what? We're going to move off that. That's going to be it for today. That's it for the Scorched Earth. We'll see you soon on Scorched Earth.